Hello. I decided to take a week off work just to focus on making art and enjoy the end of summer. I'm only a day in, but I kicked off the vacation by going to Queer City Cinema, which is a gay film festival in Saskatchewan. The whole thing was so joyful, and I got to watch works that ranged from Canada's first ever queer movie to international short films from trans and non-binary people. There's also like music videos, and I loved it. I will say though, I've been in this stage of life where I want to move my experiences offline a bit more and attend these sorts of in-person events. But every time I do, there's a lack of community. You know, with Queer City Cinema, I saw so many friends, artist mutuals, and just people in the queer community posting about the films and events. But when it came time to them, none of them showed up. And there was like 8 people there, half of which were just random old people. And don't get me wrong, I know people get busy and life happens, but only 8 people for an entire film festival is just not good. And it's not uncommon. You know, I feel like I keep showing up and looking into a void, and it's been really getting to me mentally. I think there's this like escapism part of my brain that's been thinking like, if I move to a different city, maybe that's when I can find community and connectivity, just solely based on the fact that there'll be more people. I do live in a small city. I know that there's never going to be a huge turnout to these kinds of things, but like at least the classroom size would be something, you know? I also think that I'm feeling it a little heavier because a lot of my friends have moved away and have been finding their people, and I'm happy for them and simultaneously like a little bit jealous. One of my best friends, Bongani, who you've seen in my videos, I've talked about how he moved to Toronto and I don't get to see him as much anymore. Well, he's in Saskatchewan right now. He's just working on a project, and him and I had this really great chat at one of our favorite restaurants about how the price of community is inconvenience. It is commitment. It sometimes looks like, yeah, you don't want to do this thing, but you should show up for other people. I've done a boomerang effect with this sort of thing. So for the majority of my life, I showed up no matter what, no matter how bad it would be for my mental health, my physical health. I would show up even if it wasn't reciprocated. You know, I really felt like I was a bad person if I didn't. And then I met one of my best friends, Taya, who helped me get out of that. Through learning about disability activism, I learned that sometimes the best thing for all parties is to cancel. It is that if you have genuine friendships, changing or alternating plans won't mean that you're a bad person. They're not going to look at you badly, right? And I really needed that in my life. I needed someone to help me get over this shame. No matter how many times we cancel on each other, our connection doesn't waver. And this has been especially prevalent when I've been in and out of the hospital. My health issues have costed me everything. I've lost friendships, relationships, and jobs because of it. In moments where I haven't been able to show up because I physically can't, I've been abandoned a lot. And so knowing her and having such open dialogues on disability activism was life-changing. And so where I'm at currently is I've swung to a healthy middle now. I have the confidence to set boundaries and know how and when I need to take care of myself, opposed to following through with plans. Simultaneously, I've been showing up a lot more when I don't really want to, or when me showing up for something or someone is greater and more important than whatever I have going on. You know, having those honest conversations with myself too, of like, you know, maybe it's gonna feel like I'm dragging my feet to go to this thing, but also something like Queer City Cinema needs people to be there if it's going to continue being funded. 8 people was not good. 7 people would have been much worse. Yesterday, I was having such severe period cramps. Like, low key, I need to get tested for endometriosis. The first day is always so bad. I usually throw up. I need to be ultra medicated. I need a heating pad. I'm often crying in bed. It's not good. And so there was a huge part of me that just didn't want to go to the film festival because I was in pain. But about an hour before, I was like, you know what? All I'm going to be doing is sitting down. I might be a little physically uncomfortable, but I was looking forward to this. I want to show up. I want to see my friends, which didn't happen, but whatever. And it felt worth it in the end. That was the right choice. You know, if I have to muster through the pain to go to work some days, why not do it for things I actually like a lot more? There's an equivalent or parallel to this situation I find myself in a lot, where I'll have a friend going through a really hard time while I'm also going through a hard time. If that friend says they need me, I will be there. Because I have been to therapy, I know myself really well, and I understand how to do both things. How to take care of myself and also someone else. It's not always easy, and in fact, it can sometimes be extremely difficult, but it's possible, and I want to do it, and it's necessary. And so, rounding this back to the conversation I was having with Bongani, we were talking about the North American individuality a lot of people have, where we say we need to take care of ourselves first. Sometimes that's true, and other times it is just the antithesis of community. It has no care in it, and in fact enters the toxic self-care realm of I am the most important thing always, and then it's you. It felt really easy for me and Bongani to talk about because he was not born in Canada, he was born in Zimbabwe, and African culture doesn't work like that. And for me, I've never had a normal sense of family and have had a found family my whole life. Although the people in it change, the principle of how to cultivate and continue a found family doesn't. It requires that commitment and dedication. And so, I don't know. Why am I talking about this? I don't know. It's been on my mind recently, and it's kind of just set the tone for this week off. I really hope that I can see my friends, but I've already had 3 people cancel on me. So as of right now, I'm hoping I can find time to go swimming, to read in a park. I'd like to go on a hike and take photos, maybe bring my sketchbook along. Whatever can blend nature and art together, it's gonna happen. And I really hope some of my friends will be on board to do it with me. Also, I'm releasing my film tomorrow, so I'm extremely excited about that. I have a little bit of a house update for you. It's currently raining out a bunch, but I'm just cleaning around and thought I would show you some of the new stuff we got. For starters, new bed sheets. If you remember, for the last 2 years, I've had more of a brown, burnt orange duvet cover, and I love this sage green. We also got a matching sage green curtain for the loft. And then once you head down the stairs, you can see the Japanese Norin I got for this closet. We have a bunch of cat supplies and one of our cat's litter boxes in here. It was kind of an unsightly view first thing upon waking up. And so I measured this and thought it would be perfect. There's enough space for her to get in and use the litter box comfortably, but it's also quite hidden and you can't see any of the extra cat stuff. The IKEA order finally came in as well. So I got this beautiful storage shelf that I put all of my love letter things on. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but you can see I have some business cards, envelopes, stickers, posters, stamps, and a bunch of art pieces down there. And just in case you're new here, Love Letters is my monthly snail mail subscription where I send off personalized letters and art pieces to people for $15 Canadian. So if you're interested in that, you can find my Ko-fi account in the description. Continuing on in my art studio, I got these waffle curtains. They honestly block a lot of light, but still keep the room quite bright and open. For the last little while, I've also been curating a little home inspo folder on Instagram, and I've noticed that there's a lot of stools in all the spaces. They're really easy to thrift and source off Marketplace. So I found this light wood one for like $3. It's actually quite handy when I'm working. I can put the books I'm reading, coffee cups, laptops, you name it. My partner and I also thrifted this zine rack that I absolutely love. It's so cute. This dining room set, which I'm absolutely in love with. It was a part of our IKEA order. And also, because our toaster stopped working, we got this really cute matte purple one.